Dear students, welcome to our Good Samaritan School online classes of science for class 9. Dear students, I think you all have followed the previous classes. So, in our previous lessons, you have seen that we have learnt about the different topics of mixtures like homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now, the idea about different types of compounds, elements, pure substance and impure substance also you have got. And in our last class, we have learnt about the solution, suspension and colloid. Okay. Now today we are going to start about a very interesting topic that is named as separation of heterogeneous mixture. That means how can you separate different kind of mixtures? Like it can be solid solid, it can be solid liquid, it can be liquid liquid, it can be the liquid and gas or only gases, whatever it can be around us. Okay, any kind of mixture, how can you separate that? The very respective components, when you have to separate those, very simple physical method that usually you are using, that can be hand picking, sieving or filtration. Hand picking means, suppose the when at our home the pulses are coming, the tal that you know, so sometime you may have seen that your mother is picking the stones from the dal. Okay, sometime. Okay, so that is one kind of that when the pulses can be mixed with the small stones, simply by the hand picking method we can separate the stones from the pulses. Sieving, that is very easy. What you have to take, you have to sieve the very small particles or small granules, like at your home also you are using that. Sometime that when the atta, okay, that is the wheat flour, sometime you are taking it and you are sieve it. Okay, so after the process you are getting the pure atta or pure wheat flour. And if there will be any kind of impure big molecules, big particles present in that, that will be on the sieve. Okay, and another one is the filtration. Like you can take the sand water and simply by the process of filled water you can separate the water and the sand. What you have to do, simple, one conical flask you have to take and there you have to put one funnel and one filter paper will be kept there. So when you will pour the sand water inside this filter paper, what will happen? Through the filter paper, the water will come in the conical flask and that can be named as the filtrate. And the sand particles will be on the filter paper and these will be considered as the residue part. Okay, this is the process, very simple method by which we can separate the that the liquid and the solid mixture. Now the sieving at your home, I think you have seen this process that can be done by your mother, and so you can also try this process at your home of the sieving. So by the impure big particles can be separated from the wheat flour with the help of the sieving. Now hand picking. Okay, in the pulses, if the any kind of stones or any impure material will be present there, simply by the process of hand picking you can separate that. Now let us come to some difficult liquid, some difficult mixture. Okay, like separation of the heterogeneous mixture. The different, why means how can you separate that? Depending upon the some kind of physical properties and the constituents of the mixture. So what will be those physical properties? The density of the constituents of the mixture, that means how, in which density the constituents are mixed in the mixture. Depending upon the melting point and boiling point, property of the volatility, solubility of the constituent, ability of the constituent of the mixture to sublime, and the ability of the constituent of the mixture to diffuse. So the first one you have to remember density, second one melting point and boiling point, third one volatility, fourth one solubility, fifth one the mixture, the ability to sublime, and the sixth one is the ability to diffuse. So these 6 points you have to keep in mind, that based on these 6 physical properties we should separate the heterogeneous mixture. Now let us see. This is the process of evaporation. Okay, very easy procedure. What you can see, you have to take the solution. Okay, so when you are using the filter paper filtration process, there the solute, they are the particles like the sand which will be kept in the water. The sand will not be soluble in the water. Okay, then only we can use the process of filtration. But if we will take one glass of water, and if we will pour 1 teaspoonful of sugar or salt in it, and if we will mix it, then you will get the solution. Okay, solution of sugar or salt. So there, if we will put it on the filter paper, you cannot separate the sugar from the solution. So how can you separate the non-volatile soluble solid from its liquid solvent? The process is called as evaporation. Simply you have to put the heat in the solution, and the solvent will come in the vapor form, and the solute will be present in that bowl. Okay, so by this process you can separate the solvent in the vapor form and solute in the bowl. Now the next one, by centrifugation. Okay, what is the process of centrifugation? Centrifugation is the process through which you can separate the finely suspended particles in the liquid by whirling the liquid at very high speed. This is the machine of centrifuge. What you can do? There you can put the clear liquid, okay, and the particles will be suspended inside it. So what will happen? This machine will means this machine will rotate very fast. So when the machine will rotate very fast, what will happen? The suspended particles will come down at the bottom of the tube. Okay, and the solvent part, that means the liquid part, will come on the upper, that means that is on the top level. So here it is called as the supernatant. Okay, and where the solute will be suspended, that will be called as the residue. Okay, now what will be the application of the centrifugation? It is employed in the different kind of, it will be milk. Okay, milk dairies, to separate the cream from milk. It is employed in the diagnostic laboratory for testing the urine sample, in the blood bank also to separate the different constituents of blood, and at your home also you can see that in the inside of your washing machine, when the dryer is going on, there also from the wet clothes the water is squeezed out. So that is in the simple formation, like the centrifuge is working also in that same principle of mechanism. Now how can you use the centrifuge just for the process of the blood separation? Here you can see that when the centrifugation process will be done, then the erythrocyte portion of the part will come down, then the leukocyte and platelet part will come on the top of the erythrocyte, and then the plasma. So what is the meaning of that? How it is coming like that? When the centrifugation process is done in the blood, because the erythrocytes are the most heaviest portion of the blood, that's why it is coming down. Then the leukocyte and platelets, that these two and this coat can be named as the Buffy coat also. It is very important, okay? You have to remember the term Buffy coat. Now, and the plasma is the most lighter part of the blood. So that's why the plasma is coming on the top portion, okay? So this is the process through which you can separate the components of the blood. Now, the next one is the separating by the funnel. Okay, so how can you use this method? So we will learn about this method in our next class, and up to today's class we have learned about the centrifugation of blood, then the evaporation process, the properties of the heterogeneous mixture, on which basis the separation can be done. Now the three very simple physical method: filtration, sieving and hand picking. So you all just keep learning these topics at your home, and at the end of this chapter we will have the live classes. So please record your doubts. So we will discuss about all of your doubts in our live sessions. Thank you very much.